I left the structured system abroad to come back and build something meaningful. I poured millions into this university. World-class faculty, top-tier facilities, everything. But guess what? No one is showing up. Parents don't trust it. Students are not enrolling. And my team is running around in circles with marketing that's isn't working. I give up stability. Left behind a career that paid me in dollars. And for what? To fight endless red tape, to beg for credibility in my own country. If the best education in Nigeria is still measured by foreign validation, then what's the point? Maybe I made a mistake coming back.
A former Fortune 500 executive and Harvard lecturer, Professor Dapo Anderson, leaves his prestigious career to start a university in Nigeria. But after pouring millions into infrastructure, marketing, and hiring, the school isn't attracting students. Frustrated, he meets with me to figure out where it went wrong and how to turn things around. My name is Bolanle Oloshinde Generala BOJ. Welcome to School to Create, the Legacy Blueprint series. This is not just another business talk show. Here we tackle the real problems facing Africa's top leaders, CEOs, and organizations. Every episode, we take a real-world case study represented by an actor because I want you to picture the situation before we go on to explore high-stake challenges and how strategic branding and storytelling can provide the breakthrough. We're building a movement with this show. Subscribe to gain valuable insights that mirrors reality for training on building legacy brands. Let's dive right in.
Bolanle, I won't lie to you. Some days I wake up and wonder if I made a mistake. I gave up stability, left behind a career that paid me in dollars. And for what? To fight endless red tape? To beg for credibility in my own country. If the best education in Nigeria is still measured by foreign validation, then what's the point? Maybe I made a mistake coming back. Look, I had it all in America. A high-paying job. I was also a lecturer at Harvard. I owned a home in Boston. My kids went to the best schools there. My name carried weight. Then one day, I thought to myself, what's the point of all this if I'm not giving back? So I packed up everything, liquidated some assets, and moved back to Nigeria to start something bigger than myself. A university that will shape the next generation of African leaders. And now, I look around, I see empty lecture halls. I see a campus I spent billions building, but no students to fill it. I see ads that are not converting. I hear investors asking tough questions, and honestly, Bolanle, I feel like I failed. Huh? Did I rush this? Did I underestimate what it takes to succeed here? Did I miscalculate? Huh?
Mr. Dapo, I hear you. And I can only imagine how frustrating this must be. You left behind certainty, a Fortune 500 career, a structured system, global recognition, to come home and build something that truly matters. And instead of doors swinging open, you're hitting wall after wall. But let me tell you this, you're not alone. Many great leaders have walked this exact road. They returned ready to give back, only to find that trust isn't inherited, it's earned. In Africa, like in most parts of the world, legacy isn't about what you build. It's about who believes in what you build. And that's where storytelling comes in. Because right now, Mr. Dapo, you don't just have a university problem, you have a positioning problem. Let's fix that.
Bolanle, I know storytelling is important, but I'm about to run into debt. I need a quick fix. I don't see how telling stories changes the bottom line. I need to focus on what can work like magic. We have a solid academic structure, great faculty, and a clear mission. Shouldn't that be enough? Why do we need to focus on telling stories when we should be focused on running the school properly?
Let me ask you this. What makes Harvard, Oxford, and MIT the best universities in the world? Is it their classrooms, their buildings, their accreditation? No, it's their story. People don't just apply to Harvard because of the curriculum. They apply because Harvard has built a 100-year story of prestige, success, and power. People believe that if you go there, you're now part of an elite network. And that belief, that story, is what justifies their tuition fees, attracts the best students, and secures billion-dollar endowments. You don't just need to build a university, Mr. Dapo. You need a narrative, a story.
But isn't all that story focus a distraction? Right? People already have their mindsets about most things. How am I changing it by forcing a story on them? Besides, what kind of story am I to tell? Do you mean adverts? Because we have already spent a lot of money making all sorts of videos. I am tired of signing off on content creation budgets. I already ticked that box. And I can tell you for free, Bolani, that it has done nothing for us.
Mr. Dapo, let me ask you something. If you had to sum up your university's mission in one line, what would it be?
Well, it's a world-class university with international faculty, American-style education, and...
You see the problem? You're giving me features, not a story that I can connect with. World-class, American-style, international faculty. These words mean nothing to the parents sending their children to university in Nigeria. The real question is, what do you stand for? What's the emotional promise behind your institution? Because right now you've built the infrastructure, but you haven't built the movement. And that's why you have low buy-in. Let me tell you something about legacy brands. The most successful universities, Harvard, Oxford, Stanford, or even the ones in Nigeria, Penn Atlantic, Covenant, and others, they don't just sell education, they sell identity. When a student gets into Harvard, they're not just getting an education, they're joining a league of change makers, innovators, and world leaders. That's what we need to do for your university. We need to craft a narrative, a story that makes your institution aspirational, so much so that students fight to be accepted. Right now, your school is positioned like a business trying to sell a product. But like I said previously, in Africa and most parts of the world, choosing an education is an emotional decision. It's legacy driven. Parents don't just pay for education, they pay for a future. So let's rebuild your positioning around these 4 things. Number 1, the mission. What change are you creating? Not world-class education. That's everywhere. Everybody is creating something world-class. What is the deeper calling of your mission, Mr. Dapo? Number 2, the movement. What values do your graduates embody? What do they stand for? Number 3, community. How do you create a tribe? Are you giving people a reason to fight for a seat at your school? Mr. Dapo, what you are doing is profound. It's amazing. You left America for this. You came to Nigeria to bring us a solution. And we need that solution. We need better schools here. Don't give up on that dream just because you are not building it the right way. When you have a tribe, the business will come. It's not going to happen the other way around. And number 4, the one I can't stop talking about to anybody who cares to listen, personal branding. Mr. Dapo, you need to build a personal brand.
Well, no. I am an educator, not a celebrity. I have spent my life building institutions, mentoring students, not chasing social media likes and attention. My work should speak for itself. Why should I suddenly care about personal branding?
Because institutions are not faceless, sir. Look at Covenant University here in Nigeria. Bishop David Oyedepo gave it a face. Afe Babalola University. It carries his name because the man behind it gave it credibility. Now, look at even where you're coming from. Harvard had John Harvard. Stanford had Leland Stanford. When people think of these universities, they associate the legacies of the visionaries behind them. Mr. Dapo, it's not about fame. When I say build your personal brand, I'm not saying come and become popular for the sake of it. I'm saying come and build trust. Personal branding ensures that you're trusted. People don't follow institutions, sir. They follow the people behind them. If you don't step forward, your university will remain just another school. But if people know who you are, why you built it, and what you stand for, it becomes a movement.
Well, Bolani, I have never been one to talk too much about myself. I just want the work to be excellent.
And that's exactly why you should. You have a powerful story, one that can inspire trust in parents, attract the best faculty, and even secure the kind of funding that transforms institutions. Personal branding isn't about self-promotion, it's about leadership. The more people see and believe in you, the more they will believe in your vision.
You know, when I started this university, I thought the work would be enough. But I see your point. If I don't shape the narrative, someone else will.
Exactly, sir. And you deserve to be the one to define your own legacy.
I don't want to just create another university. I want to create a breeding ground for Africa's future billionaires, policymakers, and innovators. A place where students don't just learn, they build. A school where graduates don't just walk away with degrees, they walk away with companies, patents, and disruptive ideas.
Now that is something we can sell. That means we're going to change the messaging across all platforms. No more generic world-class university branding. No more billboard ads that say nothing. Every piece of content will tell the story of what your graduates will become. Change your marketing campaign. Tell stories. That is the game changer.
Thank you, Bolanle. This has been really helpful. But beyond stories, do you know that legacy universities have a strong alumni network? Students choose them because they've produced top graduates. My university is still new. We don't have alumni success stories yet. How do I convince parents and students that we are worth the investment? How do I create this moving story that you're preaching?
You don't need a 10-year alumni network to build credibility. I'm going to teach you a trick. What you need is borrowed credibility. Think about it. When ALX started, they didn't have alumni, but they got endorsements from top industry leaders, partnered with global organizations, and featured successful professionals as mentors. You write the story of your organization by making strategic decisions. So this is the kind of time where fake it till you make it make sense, and you're not doing it in a fraudulent manner. No, you're partnering with co-believers in the vision to stand side by side with you as you embody what becomes the future of your organization. That is going to be beautiful.
Bolanle, thank you for breaking it down so well, but I still don't fully see how it changes the bottom line. Like I said earlier, we have a solid academic structure, great faculty, and a clear mission. Shouldn't that be enough? Why must we make things up just to be accepted? I'm a man of integrity. This whole story concept is still sounding like fake it till you make it.
Storytelling isn't about making things up. In this case, it's about framing your university in a way that makes people care. Right now, your university is a collection of classrooms and faculties. That's not a story. What we will use storytelling to do is to create an emotional connection, because people invest in emotions first, logic second. Your university isn't just an institution, it's a symbol of change. Mr. Dapo, you're not faking it. Mr. Dapo, you're not telling lies. You're not cooking up stories. You are saying the truths. Because this is what your institution actually represents. People don't enroll in schools. They enroll in what those schools represent. Your storytelling will define whether students aspire to join your vision or ignore it. Let's create a storytelling strategy that makes people see your university as a movement, not just an option, Mr. Dapo. And there are 3 critical stories every university must tell. Maybe if I teach you how to tell that story, you'll begin to see this differently. So let's go. Number 1, the origin story. People connect with purpose. Why does your university exist? Let's tell that story. Can you see we're not forming anything? We're not cooking anything? I'll use the Harvard example again, since you used to lecture there. Harvard started as a small religious school before evolving into a global powerhouse. Your school needs a founder story that connects with the audience. What is that thing that drove you? You know what? Let's practice. Mr. Dapo, what is your story? Just off the top of your head. Say something. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Well, I left Harvard because I believed Africa needed an institution that didn't just teach theory but built problem solvers. I wanted a university that didn't just create graduates but created leaders, innovators, and global disruptors.
Just look at that. Okay. Now the next one, that's a beautiful story, by the way.
Mhm.
That's a beautiful story. Why are we not telling it? The next one is the transformation story. How is this school changing lives? If students join your university, how will their lives change? If parents invest in your school, what future are they securing? Tell that story. I want to hear it.
At our university, we don't just get a degree, we get a global network, leadership, mentorship, and access to internship in top companies. This is not just a school, it's an accelerator for tomorrow's industry leaders.
I'm making you into a storyteller and I'm loving it, Mr. Dapo. That is storytelling. Can you see it's not hard? You are a brilliant man. Storytelling is not hard. It is the day-to-day. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's one more I want to teach you. You need to tell the future vision story, where it's going and why it matters. People invest in institutions that feel bigger than the present. Your school needs a bold, inspiring global vision that gets people talking. What's that vision? Cook up a story.
In 10 years, this university will be the Harvard of Africa, not because of its name, but because we will produce graduates who go on to lead, disrupt, and transform the world. That's the legacy we are building.
This is fantastic. Anybody can tell stories. Anybody can be great at it, even you, Mr. Dapo. You know what? What is your key takeaway from this exercise?
Well, right now, our university is selling education, but education is everywhere. We need to sell, what we need to sell is a vision, a legacy, a movement. Then again, you're right, Bolanle. Telling our story in my own words, has brought it home for me. I mean, the universities I admired, I attended, and even lectured at Harvard and Oxford. They don't sell classrooms, they sell status, prestige, and power. That's why their storytelling makes them the first choice.
My work is done. Now you get it. So let's craft a powerful university narrative that makes people want to be a part of your institution, not just because of your courses, but because of what your school represents.
Thank you very much, Balani.
Many executives and business leaders come back to Africa with huge ideas, but they struggle to connect. The key to success isn't just infrastructure, funding, or even credibility. It's storytelling, especially in this 21st century. Because if people can't see your vision, they won't fight to be a part of it. And you need them to want it more than you want to sell it. Because that's what creates a rushing flow of clients. Demand more than supply. Ultimately, that is the goal of every winning organization. Did you enjoy this episode of School to Create, the Legacy Blueprint series? I hope you gained valuable insights from today's conversation. At Bond Storytelling Agency, we're committed to changing the corporate narrative of Africa. Whether you're a leader looking to position yourself, your business, or your organization for global recognition, legacy, and influence, we are here to help you. Invite us to work with you through our Legacy Blueprint project, where we help HNIs, CEOs, and visionary leaders tell their stories and build a personal brand that guarantees success. We also have a 3-month corporate storytelling training for your entire organization or for your corporate communications team. To learn more, send an email to hello@bondstorytellingagency.com or your WhatsApp message to the number on your screen. Let's shape the future of your brand together. Now, if this episode added value to you, hit the like button, drop a comment, and let's discuss. We love hearing from you. And trust me, the next story promises to be even richer and deeper. Subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell so that you wouldn't miss out on any of the amazing episodes coming up next. And remember, Bond can craft the story that will define your brand's future. Get on board. Contact us today.